A lot of people don't understand what Jehovah's Witnesses are all about. It's known that they talk about their religion and hand out magazines like the Watchtower door to door. Some people respect how dedicated they are, while others think their views are strange or strict. Everywhere in the world, you can find people who follow Jehovah. Millions of people from all over the world belong to them and follow the same beliefs. They don't celebrate holidays or birthdays and meet in places called kingdom halls. They also think the world will change in a big way soon. Some people think that Jehovah's Witnesses are a religious group that follows their views without violence. Others think that their strict rules make life too hard for those who are part of the group. Are they just a bunch of devoted believers, or is their group too controlling? A lot of people ask this question, and that's what we're going to look into. The group that became Jehovah's Witnesses was started by a man named Charles Taze Russell. He was eager to learn more about the Bible because it interested him a lot. He began to teach his own ideas about what the Bible really meant in the late 1800s. He started a group of people who believe what he taught, and they put out papers to spread their message. What Jehovah's Witnesses think about God and Jesus is a big part of how you're different from other Christian groups. For most Christians, Jesus is an important part of God. But for Jehovah's Witnesses, Jesus is different from God and not the same as God. A lot of Christians believe in hell, but they don't. They teach instead that people who don't follow God will cease to exist. One more thing that sets them apart is that they think the whole world is about to change. They think that Armageddon, a terrible event, is coming soon, and that only true Jehovah's Witnesses will be able to escape. They've said over the years when they think this will happen, but those times have come and gone. They said the end would happen, but it didn't. Many members still think it will happen and get ready for it every day. People who follow Jehovah think that the world will end soon. The name for the event is Armageddon. They teach that God will get rid of everything bad and make a new, perfect world where only good people will live. They focus on getting ready for it and telling other people about it because they think it could happen at any time. They also think Satan is in charge of the world right now. They say that Satan often has a hand in schools, culture, and the government. That's why they stay away from politics, some events, and many everyday activities. They think that really following their religion is the only way to stay safe from Satan's tricks. Evangelism, or telling other people about their views, is one of the most important things for Jehovah's Witnesses. They think it's their job to teach people about the Bible and talk to people in their homes. A lot of users put this work ahead of work, school, or personal goals because they think it's the most important thing they can do to help other people find out the truth. Some people are in charge of running Jehovah's Witnesses and making all the important choices for the church. The name of this group is the governing body, and they live in a special building in New York. They tell people what to think, how to live, and the rules they have to follow. They are seen as God's chosen leaders, so everyone in the faith pays attention to them. A community is the name for each group of Jehovah's Witnesses in a certain area. Men in every church are called elders, and they are in charge. People in charge make sure that everyone follows the religion's rules. Problems are also dealt with by them, and they decide if someone should be punished for breaking the rules. At the top of the system is the governing group. The elders are in charge of the churches, and regular members must do what they say. There are also rules about what to wear, what to do for fun, and how to make friends for Jehovah's Witnesses. Members should be humble in what they wear and stay away from clothes that are too flashy or showing. People of many religions are told not to watch movies, listen to music, or read certain kinds of books. Making friends is also managed. People who are Jehovah's Witnesses are told to only hang out with other people of the same religion and to stay away from close ties with people of other religions. This keeps them focused on their faith and away from bad people. People who follow Jehovah's Witnesses think that the Bible tells them not to get blood transfusions. They back this up with Bible verses that say it is against God's rules to take someone else's blood. Because of this view, they refuse blood donations, even when they could really use one to save their lives. It can be very bad to say no to blood donations. During major surgery or an accident, doctors may suggest a blood transfer to help the person stay alive. However, Jehovah's Witnesses will not get one, even if it means they could die. Parents in this religion also don't give blood to their kids, which can get them in trouble with the police and hospitals. Jehovah's Witnesses try to find other ways to treat people instead of giving them blood. Not all doctors use blood, but some do. These methods may not always work as well, though. Some Jehovah's Witnesses are scared when they get sick because of this, which makes it harder for them to get medical care. A few past members have talked about their medical care. Some say they're forced to say no to blood, even when they were scared. Others feel bad about leaving the church because they know they put their health at great risk. People have died because of this rule, which is why it is one of the most controversial parts of the religion. There are a lot of rules that Jehovah's Witnesses follow about how to live. Some of these rules are about relationships, music, and clothes. They're told to stay away from crazy or negative music. Clothing should be modest, which means it shouldn't be too tight or show too much. People can only date if they both follow the rules of their church and want to get married in community. Elders who are religious leaders keep an eye on how people act, including when they date and get married. There are strict rules that couples must follow. If someone breaks these rules, they can get in trouble. People are told to only marry other Jehovah's Witnesses, and they are strongly told not to date anyone outside the church. Men should be in charge of their families, according to the church. Women should pay attention to their husbands and do what they say. For some women, this can be hard, especially if their husbands are bossy. Women who are unhappy in their marriages may feel trapped because they can't get a divorce unless there are very major problems, like stealing. If a woman is unhappy or being treated badly, the group might not help her. She is told to wait it out and pray that things will get better. This can make things very hard for women who are in bad or cruel situations. As a Jehovah's Witness child, you have to follow a lot of rules. Kids are taught to be unique. Because the world is seen as bad, they shouldn't get close to people outside of church. They might feel alone at school because they don't take part. People who have been baptized are supposed to follow all the rules to the letter. There are teens who feel like they have to do this to make their families happy. But if they break the rules, they will be punished severely. Other members, even family members, may stop talking to them if they are disfellowshipped. Teenagers who are still working things out may find this very painful and scary. Being a Jehovah's Witness can change the way someone thinks and feels. A lot of people in the church are told not to question it. People might think they are weak or unruly if they question the lessons too much or give too much weight. People are scared to speak up, even if they are lost or having a hard time. Because of the strict rules, some members feel depressed and anxious. They might feel like they need to be perfect and do everything exactly as taught. They might feel bad or guilty if they mess up. Being told to stay away from people of other faiths can also make them feel very alone and cut off. Life can be very hard for people who choose to leave the church. People they know may stop talking to them, even family and friends, because they were never told to make plans for a different life. They might feel lost. It can be hard to learn how to make new friends, get a job, or fit back in with society. It's not easy to leave the Jehovah's Witnesses. When people notice things that don't feel right, a lot of them start to question. Some lessons may bother them, or the strict rules may make them unhappy, but it can be scary to question their faith, because they are taught that quitting is dangerous, and that those who do so are turning their backs on God. Some people try to leave gently by not going to as many meetings or not telling anyone about their worries. Some people stop following the rules and wait to be kicked out. A small group of people write a letter to officially leave the group. Things can get bad for them no matter how they leave. People who leave the group are often ignored, which means their family and friends stop talking to them. If they grew up in the faith, this can make them feel alone and lost. A lot of former members find it hard to start over, but some get help from people who have been through the same thing. It can be very hard to leave a company because it's a big change. There are a lot of people who feel alone after leaving the group because they lost family and friends in it. People in the government have asked Jehovah's Witnesses how they deal with certain issues. One big question is how they handle cases of abuse in the group. They often try to handle things on their own instead of calling the cops. A lot of people are worried about this because some victims don't get the help they need. Disfellowshipping, which means cutting someone off because they don't follow the rules, is another big subject. Friends and family in the group may stop talking to a member if they break the rules or leave. Some people think this is unfair and hurtful, while others think it's important to keep the group clean. The group has been in the news for bad reasons because of these problems. They work hard to defend their methods to keep their good name, and they say they have the right to run their group however they want because it's their faith. There are still arguments about their policies, and a lot of people have different ideas about what is right. Things are changing quickly, and it's now easier than ever to find what you need. Jehovah's Witnesses used to learn from their own books and meetings, but now that the internet exists, anyone can read different points of view and discover new things. This makes it harder for the group to tell people what to think. Pressure comes from both inside and outside the group. Some members want things to be different, like fewer strict rules or more freedom to make their own decisions. There are also people outside the group, like countries and past members, who want more information to be shared about how the group works. There's no way to know for sure what will happen. The group might have to change in order to stay alive, but some people think it will stay the same and get smaller as people leave. No matter what happens, it's clear that people's views on the group are changing. What happens next will depend on the next few years. Question things and think for yourself all the time. People who grow up in a church or a group often accept what they are told without checking to see if it is true. You can make better decisions, though, if you learn new things and do your own study. Everyone should be able to believe what they want. People who don't agree with the rules shouldn't have to follow them. Faith that comes from the heart, not fear or pressure, is what it should be. What do you think? Have you ever thought about something you were taught? People get to know each other better when they talk and share their thoughts. Always look for the truth, keep learning, and ask questions. Different people have different thoughts on the Jehovah's Witnesses. There are people who think they are a faithful group that closely follows the Bible, and people who think their rules are too strict and controlling. This argument has been going on for a long time, and people are still saying what they think and feel. What do you think? Have you met anyone in this group? Do you have a story to share? Send a message and say what you think. Thanks for reading. If you liked what was said, please like, subscribe, and follow for more. Don't stop being interested in asking questions. Thanks for watching.